Thank you, Sarah. And Representative Meredith, thank you so very much for that wonderful interview. So here we are again, folks. We're back for starting our fifth hour of the telethon. We got 19 more hours to go, which means you have more time to pledge. We need your dollars. We need your dollars because the funds raised will help build capacity for MTUG. We will invest in expanding services, continue to pay an MSW LCSW to serve as a protective oversight for our peer-to-peer facilitator support groups. I happen to be a facilitator for two of the support groups, and Brittany that we talked about earlier, she's done a fabulous job. And Michelle, I met her earlier, she's here too. She's gonna do a fabulous job. So we're very, very proud of those individuals and help us do our wraparound services. We invest in securing appropriate space for us to have our own offices. Our current office is in the basement of the World Community Center, is inadequate for our needs, and we have outgrown it. We renew our name change fund to help provide scholarships for individuals needing their legal documentations in order. We will secure a bus pass fund to make sure everyone who wants a social emotional support can get us to go to doctors, to go to job interviews, to actually get to job, to work, to go seek medical help, to go to their doctors, their therapists, maybe even go shopping for clothes, to come here to the Pride Center so they can just come and sit and be in community. So, you know, the Metro Trans Umbrella Group, which is MTUG for short, is a grassroots nonprofit dedicating to providing social, emotional support and building power for transgender adults in the metro area. That is trans people, GNC people, which are gender nonconforming and non-binary, and for intersex people here in our St. Louis area. MTUG was founded in 2013, and we are an only direct organization for folks under the trans umbrella for 100 miles around. We get folks here in the St. Louis region, we get folks from Springfield, from Columbia, from up in Des Moines, Iowa, from Mississippi, from Alabama. We get phone calls from people that need services and help all around the United States. And actually, we are a provider of safer spaces in the community. For each year, we have two free clothing swaps where you all donate your clothes and people in the trans community come in and they pick out clothes that match their outward appearance, and they go and we have suits and coats donated, and people come here and they get fitted for outfits for job, and it's a wonderful time. I and Krista Lou Cunningham, who happens not to be here right now, we put the clothing drive together. She does most of the work, and it is a wonderful experience, and a lot of people come here and shop for clothes, and we provide safer spaces in our peer-led support groups. We have 6 support groups. Let me tell you about them. We have FemSpec for humans on the feminine side of the gender spectrum. We have Locker Room for humans on the masculine side of the gender spectrum. We have Expression Spectrum for non-binary, non-conforming family. We have QTPOC, which stands for Queer Trans People of Color. For our siblings of color who want trans and queer identities, we have our Orchid support group for intersex individuals like myself, and we have a private internal mental health mixed support group. So we have 6 wonderful support groups that this funding will help people find a transportation to here. And we also have online support groups. So in a month, we service between 100 to 125 adult individuals. MTUG service adults 18 through 128. So please give your donations. Like I said before, you can donate by going to stlmetrotrans.com, click on the Donate Now button, or you can call 314-827-5383, and we'll take your pledge, or facebook.com Metro Trans Umbrella Group, and click Donate. Those are ways you can donate. Right now, we stand at a little over $3,000, and we love it. We're only in our 4th hour, and we're on a percentage of our goals. And talking about percentages, let me give you just a couple of more stats out there so you see what's facing the trans community. We have 30% have experienced homelessness at some point in their lives. 30% of trans people have experienced homelessness at their points in their lives. This means, you know, most trans individuals have to not come out once, but have come out twice. And some experience of the trans people that I talk to is that okay, people can accept that you're gay or lesbian, but when you come out as trans, that's a whole nother ball of wax. And sometimes people lose their families, they lose their livelihoods, they lose their homes, so they have nowhere to turn to but the streets. With this money, we can help fund places for people to stay. We can have our own facility that will allow us to bring in our homeless trans people and give them a place of shelter. So that's why we need your money. 10% violence from family members after they came out. So not only do you have the fortitude to come out, but you always may experience some kind of violence from people in your own family. 16% of trans people lost jobs because they transitioned, because of their gender identity or gender expression. So this money that we raise in these 24 hours will go to help people, A, get their names changed, A, people get clothing that matches their outward appearance, because trans people need your support. So please, please, please dig deep in your pockets and support us. So I think we're going to take a short... The co-founders, they're going to sit down, have a little chit-chat, a little meow, 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 a little talk session. So we're going to get that set up. So we're going to... Is it okay if we cut to a break? Do you still want me to talk more? Because, you know, I can talk forever. Just keep talking. Oh, you guys going to come on stage? Okay, when y'all ready, just push out the way.
And this mic's live for radio use?
Here we have these three over. Yeah, we have these three over here. So I'm going to turn it over to all you wonderful people. Thank you so much. Yay.
Here, have Ray come on over here. You know. Hello. So I'm Sarah Johnson. I'm the executive director and one of the co-founders of the Metro Trans Umbrella Group.
I'm Ray. I use pronouns like he, him, and I am also a co-founder.
My name is Alex Johnmeyer. I'm also a co-founder, and I'm the special events director for MTUG.
I'm feeling the love.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, this is awesome. I don't think any of us could have envisioned something like this when
No.
we first started.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, incredible.
5 years feels like nothing, and then it feels like forever, like at the same time.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, the first baby conversations at the old center on the couches and after the locker room meetings and just talking about what it could possibly look like. And the first, you know, flip charts of strategic planning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it really started after Pride. Was
Yep.
it 2012 or
2012. Well, we're
Is that
5
right?
years old, so 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at Pride, we went to Pride. You tell the story so well. Tell the story.
Well, a group of the locker room humans went up to Pride, and we had our big old trans flags, and we were all studly marching up, and we get up in line, and there's a group of humans in front of us, and they're like, ooh, what's that flag? And we're like, why, this is the trans flag. And it was as if in unison, they all turned on their heels and said, wow, we would have never guessed that you're really women. And we were like, oh, no. And got crabby. And organized, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was really sad, you know, to know that we are a part of the acronym, right? Like the T is there, but it felt so silent, and it was really terrible to go to Pride and feel kind of like the redheaded stepchild at a family reunion, you know, where we were not recognized, we were not represented.
And there was the Gender Foundation before MTUG.
For sure,
You know,
yes.
but it wasn't very well publicized. It wasn't very well known.
Right.
So when I was struggling, like whenever I was coming to terms with like my gender dysphoria and, you know, not doing so well emotionally and mentally, and I called the Pride Center and I was like, you know, is there a support group for trans people or some information? And they gave me, you know, the info for the Gender Foundation. They also gave me the number for the suicide prevention hotline, which made me feel a little grim. And so I went to a meeting for the Gender Foundation, and there were 3 other people there, and we ate Indian food awkwardly. It was lovely, but that's what led me to find you on Facebook, and that's for me how I became involved, was finding you on Facebook, and then the 3 of us. It was this group message of yes, 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 yes. We need a name, and then we made a logo, and then we made a page, and then everything just took off from there.
It really did. It was a name and a logo and a page.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
hit the ground running.
And then the art show, like I feel like the art show was really like when things kind of exploded.
For sure.
Megan, what was her Meg? that did all the amazing
Hensley.
portraits. Oh my gosh. And Darren Slyman was so, he was amazing and put an ad for our first
I know, that was like a big deal.
for our first art show in the Vital Voice.
Yep.
And there was a gorgeous picture of Eli looking so serious. But like he sold it. I mean, it's like and we had people at the Coconut Art Factory and it was an amazing night of like, queer performers and trans artists and and you sang.
I did.
Yes, and you rocked it.
And it was one of the first times in my journey that like a large group of trans people sort of
Yeah.
like took over a space.
It was amazing.
And it felt really good.
It was beautiful.
It was freezing,
It
right?
was.
Didn't
Yeah.
we freeze?
Because we did it in like February.
Yes, in a
Right?
big giant factory with very little heat, but it was lovely. It was
was,
lovely.
yeah.
It was a good way to birth this particular organization, and just holding space for like how we've evolved as far as a really super white, super masculine centric organization to struggling to reach out to trans feminine humans.
And now we have them in like a force.
Well, they are running this whole show behind the
Right?
scenes. And so I think, and then being more intentional about engaging people of color and centering people of color, engaging non-binary identity and
Yes.
centering non-binary identity, like we're trying, we're working.
so much more.
We are expanding and growing and learning and trying and expanding and growing and learning and trying.
Yeah.
And all the time just loving on each other and taking up space. Because I do believe that this organization has changed the scope of transgender organizing in the St. Louis area. Like, we're going to go down on some kind of Wikipedia thing.
Oh, we should. Well, and the Memorial Garden. I mean,
Absolutely.
like, that was the first transgender memorial garden in the United States.
Yep.
So, and Caitlyn Jenner showed up to the dedication, which was kind of a big
Kate
deal.
Bornstein, but yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, no. I'm excited for what the next 5 years and the next 10 years. And
no.
like, no?
I know,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
You're-
I know, absolutely.
You're like, no,
I'm excited, I'm hopeful, and I'm optimistic, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's time.
And I'm glad that we all decided to poke the nest and do some work.
Absolutely.
And we're all together for this little 5-year thing.
Yes,
How will it
this
be
is
5
great.
years from now? And then 10 years from now, and then 20 years from
Right.
now, and I'll be right? Because
And the torch to.
well,
some
let's
new
hope, right?
voices
Like
and
we'll just be in the back and we'll wave.
experiences.
There's the co-founders, and we're like, right?
Yes.
All right. So what's next? What are we doing next here?
I am finally ready for my painting demo.
Yay.
I am mic'd. I am set.
Yes.
We are ready.
All right. So we're just gonna transition. Do
Mr.
we have a-
Rogers on over.
All right. Yay.
Tell me when I'm good. I'm good. All right. My name is Alex Johnmeyer, and as I mentioned before, I'm one of the co-founders of MTUG. But in my free time, in my in my life, I'm also a professional artist. I've been painting for 25 years, but I've been doing it professionally now for 10 years. I started out selling commissioned paintings to customers from around the St. Louis region and local businesses as well. But now within the last 5 years, I've been showing my paintings in local galleries and have made so many good friends in the St. Louis art community. So 5 years ago was whenever I'm gonna get a little choked up. I made the decision to come out publicly as non-binary, transgender, genderqueer. And I was petrified of what that would do to my art career, that all these people, that were my customers and my fans would say, oh, they're non-binary, they're transgender, I can't support that, and I would lose my fan base and I would lose a lot of friends. And I was like, you know what though, I have to be my authentic self. I have to live my truth. And so I started asking people to call me by my chosen name instead of my dead name. And that was a really big decision, and I transitioned my new name, Alex, and I got this tattoo because I got my name legally changed. That's right, just happened. But everyone, all my friends, all my fans, all my collectors, gallery owners, everyone has been so supportive. I am a little persistent though. I wear this little button all the time that reminds people of my pronouns. I'm like, right there, that's right, they, them. And no matter, their color of their skin or the age they try. And that's really all I ask for, is that they try. So yeah, I'm a professional artist, but I also hang art, and I do all things creative for MTUG. I made the stage curtains. But today we are here, and we are doing this, and we have a serious shadow on this painting. So I'm gonna fix that, because I can. There. Better? No. Can we get this light? Yes? Yeah. Thank you. I'm not picky at all. Diva? What? Okay. So this is a painting that I created when DOMA was overturned. I wanted to express in my art the LGBT community, that day was momentous for us. And so this piece is all the colors of the rainbow flag, but I don't know if you can tell, I centered the trans colors here because they mean something to me. And then I also made this purple one stand out above the others because purple to me represents bisexuality and non-binary, or I'm pansexual, but you know. So that's what this piece is about for me. And so today I'm going to be walking you through another piece that I'm creating now today. And it's the same technique. So the techniques that I used here are the same techniques that I'll be using here. I do work in acrylic paint, but I actually prefer working in watercolor and ink. So let's get started. All right. So whenever I do a watercolor and ink, my first step is using Higgins Black Magic. Anyway, so what I like to do, Black Magic is fantastic because it's a waterproof ink. And so you can put it down, and within about 30 seconds, minute tops, you can work it, adding water and then thin it. So you can create these fantastic washes. So all of the black and any gray you see right now is a gradient of using this Black Magic. But also just like within like the last month, they came out with the best product, and I just about like lost it because it's Higgins in a pen. What? Everybody lost their minds. It's fantastic. So anyway, let's get started. I was going to show you it's real easy. I was going to lay in a little bit of the ink wash and then get into some watercolors. So on my palette here, I've got like straight up out of the jar Higgins, and then next to that, I've made a dilution of water with Higgins. And I'm working from my laptop, and I know people are like, you paint from your laptop? And I'm like, yes, I do, and I have no shame. All of my all of my paintings are a photograph that I took myself, and then I literally just look at it on my computer and I paint it. So over here, we've got some lovely shadows, and so we're just gonna get to work. I'm just gonna stand, and you can't stop me. I realized the other day I was at Soha Gallery, and I was helping them hang their holiday show, and we hung, oh my Lord, I don't even know how much artwork we hung that day, but I realized that I say, I'm doing this and you can't stop me. And I say it a lot, which makes me realize that somebody did try to stop me. And so now I'm always telling them, well, you can't, because I'm gonna, so don't try. So right now I lay in like this darkest portion. And then from there, we'll be adding more water up into a gradient fade. And paper towels are my best friend, because paper towels you can put down and you can take us away, but quickly, because like I said, with the Higgins, you gotta work quick, because it does set. So see, from that dark bottom, the shadow on the edge of this box. Oh yeah, this box. Okay, so my parents go to a lot of estate sales. It's one of their favorite things to do. And so now my partner and we drag our child along, but now me and my partner, we enjoy going to estate sales as well. And so at one of these houses, this man, he was a art teacher in the 50s and 60s. And so he had all these fantastic like boxes, crayon boxes, marker boxes, paint boxes. So I bought tons of like vintage art supplies. So I got like chalk set, and this is what this was. I got 2 different chalk sets. So this is a box of chalks from like the 1940s, and I really liked the way it like photographed, and I thought it was really great. Oh yeah, so what this piece is about. I wanted to show the colors of the rainbow flag, red, orange, yellow, this will be green, and then blue, purple, and then Down here, I have the trans colors. So this is pink to represent trans feminine people. And then up here, this will be blue to represent trans masculine people. And then this piece that is, by itself in the middle of everything else is going to be purple. And then I went a little against the grain a little bit. I included a brown piece of chalk because I wanted to include people of color because they are so integral to our community. And I feel right now, after the death of Michael Brown and all the work that QTPOC has done for MTUG, that it's really important to include them in this piece. And also the bears. The color for bears is brown. So, well, cubs and otters and, all those people. But anyway, so you can see now that I definitely have a nice shadow that I can now work up from. So we're going to move over. Let me put in a little bit more. We're going to move over now to, it's just some watercolor because I'm liking the way this is looking. And I have a little bit of a line here. I wish that you could see what I see as I'm painting, but you'll just have to trust me. My vision, that's what you get. You just have to enjoy what I'm doing. Oh yeah. I'm wearing Bob Ross as an homage. Whenever we first talked about, when we were first putting together the telethon, I was like, oh, can I dress up as Bob Ross? And they were like, no. And I was like, please. And they're like, no. We want you to look like you because you're amazing. Ah, that's so sweet. There. Okay, so we're going to move over now. How am I doing on time?
5:26, I don't know.
Huh?
You're good, keep going.
Oh, keep going. Okay. 5 minutes. That's great. All right. So over here on the chalk pieces, I'm going to be working with ultramarine and cerulean. As you can see, this is kind of a thing if you've ever seen pictures of my studio. I like to take all of the products of acrylic or watercolor, whatever it is, and I make a board so that I can just look over and say, I want that color, or I want that color, and then I know exactly what color it will look like on my artwork. So my favorite watercolor product is Core, Q-O-R. It's super vibrant and very saturated, and it has a different binder, so it works and it doesn't separate and get that awful sediment that sometimes watercolor does to you. So we're gonna lay down some cerulean right now because I just feel like it's that really great, like trans, bright, happy blue. And I felt we needed a happy blue to go, with how like punch you in the face pink we got going on over here. Now see, you're gonna notice that whenever I'm painting, I don't talk as much. I don't get as excited, because I'm thinking really hard. That's okay. Instead of happy trees, we have happy chalk. Oh yeah, so I'm titling this painting, We Are Not Broken, because even if you break a piece of chalk in half, both pieces of that piece of chalk are still completely usable, and it does not affect the integrity or the usefulness of that chalk. And that really, I don't know, like I had this idea and it spoke to me. And hopefully you guys don't think I'm full of crap and think it's horrible. I'm not the first person to curse on this, so I'm probably not the last. Later on tonight, I'm excited because a bunch of my friends from the drag community are coming on to perform. Yeah, Dickie Bell and Dick Von Dyke. I've become good friends with them, and they're coming on later. When is the drag happening? Like 2 a.m. something, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And I'm going to be joining their troupe as a drag king in January for funsies. See how that goes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you soon. Let's check in and see how much money we have created out of nothing.
And we're back. Thank you for that wonderful art demonstration, Alex. That was fabulous. Alex is such a wonderful painter. So now I just want to check in, say how's everybody's doing. You still with us? You got your snacks, you got your beverages. Everybody's doing good out there in Facebook land. So we're here We got 20 more hours to go. 19 more hours to go. We're here. We're having a good time. I just want to say, please don't forget to donate because every dollar helps. We have some more interviews coming up. We have some more great talented individuals coming up to sing. We got Kelsey Lee Evans is going to be up to perform shortly. Going to introduce them to come out and sing for you. We have more interviews right now. We're setting up. So we're going to be here until noon on Sunday. And I'll be here during the night to entertain and host for you also. Kristen's going to be up singing and hosting later. Lady Ashley's here for our QT block that we have. So we're just going to have a good time. So we're going to kick it over momentarily to Sarah, who's with the fabulous Shelly. They're going to have an interview soon because Shelly has a lot to say. She's very involved in the community. So we're going to take it over there in about a couple of seconds. So they just go give me the high five and there they go. Looks like they're ready to go. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah and Shelly. Thank you. Donate, donate, donate.
All right. Thank you, Leon. I am here with, please introduce yourself to our lovely audience.
I'm Shelley Richmond. I'm here supporting and doing what I can for MTUG, MCC Church. My passions, I've got all kinds of them, but mostly, it's just working with the community and helping as much as I can with others in their quest to get where they're going. Doing the early stages, and I'm getting close, I think, to getting to the late stages of mine. I've had recent word on that.
Sure.
It's just it's an ongoing process for everybody. It's different for everybody in a lot of, and it's the same yet it's different.
I specifically wanted you to come on because I think you're a lovely person, first of all. You have an incredibly gentle spirit and a guiding spirit, and the way that you engage people is so loving, and you seem to be a person that really meets people where they're at. You put out a lot of positive energy, even if it is challenging for yourself. And I think that one of the intersections of your identity that I kind of wanted to just talk about was your identity as a trans woman and as a Christian woman, and how those two meet.
How they meet. That's it. They didn't for a long time.
Right.
I avoided the churches. I avoided everything to do with churches for 20 odd years till I found the MCC church. It's, of course, very gay friendly. It was founded for the LGBT community. It never preached anything except love and acceptance for any and all. It doesn't matter whether you're straight, gay, it doesn't matter. It's a very loving church. We've got fantastic pastoral staff. We work well within the community. We're out there for pride, for
Yeah. They were here
everything
earlier,
going.
taking up some space. The choir came out, Reverend Wes. It was lovely.
And it's just, we just keep going. I'm at a loss for words, and I really don't know why.
So one of the things that you had talked to me about wanting to do and organize would be some sort of social emotional support group that would intersect trans identity, queer identity, and either religious study or Christianity, maybe more than just Christian, maybe the whole spectrum of faith paths that
Yes.
humans pick.
Yes, I'm working, I've had at least one meeting with a young lady
Yeah.
over here on SLU campus. We discussed for a long time our general targets and how we would like to have an interfaith group to work on faith and spirituality.
Yeah.
Probably more the spirituality than the faith, because the young lady is trans Muslim, and she's got a hard row to hoe because it's really a tough faith. Although she tells me that her particular country is very accepting
Yeah.
of the trans community.
And so coming together and building that bridge and creating that sort of opportunity for dialogue and conversation and just really putting that intersection of your identity as a person of faith and with your transgender identity. I just think it's a lovely way to engage the world. And I've always, since I met you, I thought that that was a lovely way to be intentional with people and engage. And I just appreciate the gentle way in that you put that out there.
It's not always easy to talk religion, but you can talk spirituality
For sure.
with just about everybody. Everybody's got some level of spirituality on some subject matter or another.
I think a lot of humans do, and I also am aware, as you are, that a lot of our folks in particular have been hurt by religious institutions, and so treading in that space lightly and lovingly is, it can be a gift for folks to kind of work through some of that stuff.
It is. It's something that I think in some form or another just about everybody looks for.
Yeah,
They don't necessarily find it,
right.
and if I can, I'll help there as well. It's a matter of what's good for the people.
For sure.
That's my biggest goal.
Yeah. Well, and I think we're going to see more of you, Shelley. Out there organizing, getting folks having those conversations.
Well, I'm trying to. I would also, there are a few groups that I would like to see come about from this.
Yeah.
We've got different levels of where we are in our transitions. Mm-hmm. The early stages, of course, and you've got to go through each stage. You can't avoid that.
Sure.
But sometimes the earlier stages don't understand fully what's going on with those that have gone through surgery
Sure.
or
It's an evolution
or have gotten as far as they're going to go, and the issues are different on opposite ends of the spectrum. And I think that there's something there that needs to be done. Mm-hmm. That I would like to see happen, and if nothing else, help make it happen.
Yeah, have those conversations. All right. Well, look, this is what I want to give to you. So one of the things that we're doing during this time not only is centering humans that are doing the work in our community, but we commissioned this print from a local trans masculine artist, and it says, "Your support is vital to our liberation," from the Metro Trans Umbrella Group. And I just want you to know that the Metro Trans Umbrella Group sees the work that you're doing, and we appreciate your role in our movement and the gentle nature in which you engage the community and the organizing that you're doing. And however we can support you, that we will. Yep. And so this is for you. And I think that we are going to be entertained here again on this main stage in our fantastic trans telethon. And thank you, Shelley, for coming. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Leon.
Thank you, Sarah and Shelley, for that fabulous interview. Right now, I'm here on our entertainment stage with the fabulous Kelsey Lee Evans. Hey, Kelsey, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I understand you work with Pride St. Charles.
I do. I'm on their entertainment committee, and I love it, especially because I feel like a lot of people out on that side of the river don't know that there are resources available. So I think it's really important that we're doing work out there.
Well, that's good. So when is Pride St. Charles this year?
Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me for not knowing this date off the top of my head.
It's the week before Pride St. Louis.
That's exactly right.
So you like being on the entertainment committee? And
I do.
So
Yeah.
are you looking for entertainers?
We are always looking for entertainment. I believe our application is going to be going live soon,
Okay.
Not just for the festival, but for different events throughout the year as well.
Okay. And I see you have a button here on your guitar strap. Tell me about that
I
button.
do. So Pride St. Charles has these great pronoun buttons, and we have those available at most of our events so that you can display that proudly wherever you would like. And if I can maybe plug a couple of those events.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So just some recurring events that we have each month. The second Saturday of every month, we have Pride Hikes, which is just a way to get together and go to explore different parks throughout the city and just connect with each other out in nature. So shout out to the people that did that this morning because it was super cold.
I bet it was.
And then the third Wednesday of each month, we have what we call Espresso Yourself, and that is at the Picasso's on Beale Street, the streets of St. Charles. And that is just an informal way for people to come hang out, meet each other in a safe space, play some games, and just be connected.
I love that. Thank you very much. So right now I'm going to introduce you, and then you're going to sing
Great.
some lovely ditties for us. So Kelsey Lee Evans is an acoustic singer-songwriter based in St. Charles, a self-proclaimed music junkie. She recognizes the importance of connecting with the audience on a spiritual level. She strives for that in each performance. As a proud member of CARIS, the St. Louis Women's Chorus, and of Pride St. Charles, Kelsey Lee is passionate about promoting safe spaces in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kelsey Lee Evans. Take it away,
Leanne.
Kelsey.
So I'm going to play a couple Christmas songs and then one original. And this first song, I feel like a lot of people don't consider it a Christmas song, but I do. And it's always been one of my favorites. And this one goes out to anyone that's had a tough time in 2017. I know many people in our community have, so this one's for you. A long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. I can't remember the last thing that you said as you were leaving. Now the days go by so fast, and it's one more day up in the canyon. And it's one more night in Hollywood. If you think that I could be forgiven, I wish you would. Na 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 na, yeah. The smell of hospitals in winter, and the feeling that it's all a lot of oysters, no pearls. And all at once you look across a crowded room to see the way that light attaches to the girl. And it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Hollywood. You think you might come to California, I think you should. Na 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 na, yeah. Drove up to Hillside Manor sometime after 2 a.m. and I talked a little while about the year. Guess the winter makes you laugh a little slower, makes you talk a little lower about the things you could not show. And it's been a long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. I can't remember all the times I tried to tell myself, hold on to these moments as they pass. And it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Hollywood. And it's been so long since I've seen the ocean, I guess I should. Na 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 na, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah, yeah. Thanks. So this next song is my original, and this song is about putting yourself out there and not getting the result you hoped for. And instead of looking at that as a defeat, looking at that as the triumph because you tried. So this song is called Pressed Rose, and I hope you like it. They've been staring me down all day, the burnt orange faces of this bouquet. Should I keep them or throw them away? Thought I'd finally found my way. And if this is the cost of following your heart, even if it shows ya when you ain't got, I'd pick the petals of 1,000 or more apart. She loves me not, and right before my very eyes, they've doubled, no tripled in size. Now everything in me cries out at the beauty that was once disguised. And if this is the cost of following your heart, even if it shows ya when you ain't got, I'd pick the petals of 1,000 or more apart. She loves me not. So if this is the cost of following your heart, even if it shows ya when you ain't got, hell, I'd pick the petals of 1,000 or more apart. She loves me not. I got a rose pressed between the pages of a book. It was meant to be a gift for her that night. At first I saw rejection when I would look. Now I just see strength, courage, and light. I found strength, love, and light. Thank you. And this last one is my favorite Christmas song of all time. I once had to perform it at a guitar recital where I was the only person over the age of 12. And I was not 13 or 14, I was 25. So it was really nerve-wracking because they were all better than me. But this is my favorite Christmas song, so I hope you like it too. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten and twice shy, I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me. Merry Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know you'd fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Crowded room, friends with tired eyes. I'm hiding from you and your soul of ice. My God, not. I thought you were someone to rely on. Me, I guess I was a shoulder to cry on, a face on a lover with a fire in her heart. Girl undercover, but you tore me apart. Ooh, now I found a real love. You'll never fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. A face on a lover with a fire in her heart. Girl undercover, but you tore her apart. Maybe this year, no, I know this year I'll find someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, oh, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Thanks.
Jingle. That was awesome. Look, a little foot jingle. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, give me a little bell down there. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Gail. That was great. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And I have a big announcement. Are you ready? Alex, I'm gonna need you. You know why? Because we reached $3,500. Woo! But we need some color. We need things. We need paint. Okay. Yes. We got it. Yes. $3,500. Let's give it a big yes. I can kick. I can stretch. We can make things happen. Yes. I can't wait. Because later in the night we have the QT Park hours. I can't wait. We got Summer Osborne here. It's going to be a great time. So please donate so we can push this 3,500 to 4,000. Let's try to get to 5,000 before we even get to halfway through the telethon. Yes, because it's the Christmas season. It's the season of giving. So reach deep in your pockets. Break out your billfold, your wallet, your purse. So it'll be. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. But I'm just saying, you reach in your pocket. I know y'all gonna go out on Saturday night. Y'all ready to just boogie, oogie. You know what? So just instead of boogie, oogie, just boogie, oogie, and give the rest of us the oogie, oogie. You're gonna spend $20 on a drink. Spend 10. Give us the other 10, because here we need your money so that 10% of trans people experience violence from own family members after they come out. 31% experience at least one type of mistreatment in a place of public accommodation. 47% have sexually been assaulted at some point in their life. 30% of trans people experience homelessness at some point in their lives. This is why we're here. We're here to raise money to support and uplift and give emotional social services to trans people in need. That's what this sign behind me, Metro Trans Umbrella Group, this is what this group is all about. That's why we're here tonight. That's why countless people, if you could see this room, countless volunteers are here giving their time. They haven't slept in days and weeks because we got ready for this in 4 weeks. Sayer came to me, he said, hey, Diana, I got an idea. And I just simply said yes. Because how can you turn down Sarah Johnson? You can say no, but somehow that no becomes a yes, and before you know it, here you are hosting a telethon. And later, Diana's going to be here in the wee hours in the morning hosting, so you can look forward to that. We have some drag performers coming. We have burlesque. We have so many great entertainers. I'm excited to see them. Please, if you want to donate, ways to donate, go to St. Louis metrotrans.com, click the Donate Now button, call at 314-827-5383, or facebook.com/trans Metro Trans Umbrella Group. Click the Donate button there. We got to 3,500. I know in the next 30 minutes we can get to $4,000. That's all I'm asking is the $4,000. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to send it back to Alex for some more live painting. Paint on, Alex, paint!
So as you can see now, since you guys last left, I've mostly filled in the blue now piece of chalk. Oh, sorry.
They're not ready yet.
Oh,
You're good now. No, you're
okay.
good. Go ahead.
Hey everybody. So since my little segment, hopefully you didn't miss, I've been working on finishing this blue piece of chalk. So once I get all of these, this will be purple, this will be green, so it'll be the colors of the rainbow flag. And then I'll come in and I'll do a lot of little detail work, like some of these pieces of chalk have been rubbed up against other pieces of chalk, so they'll have flecks of purple and yellow and orange. So once this piece is finished, I'm going to be donating it to MTUG's Future Home Office when we get our bigger, better, more amazing space. And then I'm going to be selling prints, and all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds from the sales of this print will go directly to MTUG. So it means a lot to me that I can use my talents artistically to do some good for my community. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this little bit of time with me. Have a good night. See you around. I'll be painting that thing.
Okay, welcome back. Sarah Johnson, Executive Director. This is so much fun. I can feel, we're kind of in a little bit of a lull, but I can feel that we are gonna ramp back up because y'all, Taco Circus is coming, first of all. It's gonna get us all worked up. And then QT Poc is gonna be centered in this space very soon. Lady Ashley is here. I see her getting ready, or doing something magical over there with the computer maybe. It's very exciting. So are we going to do a little flip? Because you know this is live, y'all. So we had a plan. We might be doing a little flip to see. We might do an interview before we do our entertainment. Is your human here? Okay. So why don't we do the interview first, since they'll need some setup time. Jason, I'm going to ask you to be flexible and come on over to our hot seat over here. And we're going to do you first, and then we're going to have some entertainment. We're just going to flip the schedule just a hair. Yep. So again, there's lots of opportunities for you to give to the Metro Trans Umbrella Group. One of the ways is you can click onto our website at stlmetrotrans.com, click the Donate Now button. You can call 314-287-5383. You can text, you can talk, do what you need to do. And we've got our Facebook page, of course, and you just click the Donate button. So there's lots of ways to give. And we're also looking for one-time donations as well as monthly sustainable donorship, because that's vital to growing our organization, is having that reliable source of monthly income so that we can continue to provide the services that the Metro Trans Umbrella Group provides, social emotional support for adults that are trans, non-binary, and intersex. Okay, I think I'm going to transition over to the interview for a moment.
And let me tell you about some of our support groups.
That'd be great. I'm gonna go there. That sounds great.
While you transition over there, no pun intended, we had some wonderful support groups here. We have FemSpec, and those who are all humans that are on the fem side of the gender spectrum. We also have Locker Room for humans on the masculine side of the gender spectrum. We have Expression Spectrum for our non-binary, non-conforming family. We have QT Poc, which is queer trans people of color, for our siblings of color who are trans and queer identities. We have Orchid Support Group for intersex individuals, and we have a private internal in-house mental health mixed support group. So as you see, we have 6 peer-led social emotional support groups that we welcome people to come join. We need money to fund those, to help people get bus passes, to help individuals come and learn. And our ultimate goal is to provide I want to make sure I get the letters right. Hold on, I'll find it. Continue paying an MSW, LCSW as a protective oversight for our peer-led support groups. All our support groups I just talked about are peer-led, peer to peer. I happen to lead two of the organizations, two of the support groups, and there's many other individuals like myself who give their time, who volunteer their time to help those in our community. So right now, I'm sure we're going to kick it over to Sarah. He has an interview with another outstanding community member. So take it away, Sarah.
Hello, welcome back to the interview corner. Will you introduce yourself, please,
Sure. My name is Jason.
and your role?
My role in the community is to be the head of school at Crossroads College Preparatory School down on Bolivar.
And your role in our community is a trans ally.
Well, my primary role as a trans ally is for the trans students at Crossroads.
Sure. And so how do you give that to your students? How do you make that a value that you have at your school?
Well, we talk a lot about taking space and making space at Crossroads. So part of it is helping students whose identities are centered give space, and helping students whose identities are not take up the space that is made by that. And so we work a lot about how do we listen to understand, and how do we move in the space as who and how we are. It takes practice, a lot of practice.
So how long have you been an educator?
I have been an educator for 22 years.
And so how have you seen trans liberation through your educator eyes?
Well, it used to be that I had to break rules to make sure that students were able to go by their preferred gender pronouns, preferred gender markers, and use the names that they identified for themselves.
Yeah.
And that is really much less the case anymore. And so I'm not breaking rules so much as just making space that is honorable and ethically correct on behalf of the young person in the space at school.
And how do you see that with your peers, like other humans that are in leadership positions at schools, I guess public and private?
Well, I do my very best to reach out to them when they struggle around these questions.
Yeah.
I think that at Crossroads, when we have since our mission states a commitment to justice and equity, there is more space and more support from the board and from the leadership in the school to make sure that we have that. Not every school has that kind of space to take up or to live through. And so mostly I try to be a support for other leaders who are struggling with how do they balance the needs of the young people with the mission or the leadership in their school. So I try to be a mentor and a leader in that regard. And I try hard to find and work with peers as well.
Yeah. And so how do you think, what lit your flame, your fire to support and center trans folks?
I think I have big heart for young people being who and how they are in the world in a way that is unabashed and uncensored. And so that sort of heart and sensitivity around it required me to learn and be responsive to the young people who were in front of me. And so a lot of times it was being led by the young folks around me. And then in my life, I have had occasion to be in relationship with trans folk who have been inspirational and who've come to my class and who have just participated in being an eloquent mirror for me in terms of my own centered identity and privilege, and who've also shared their life and their story with me in such a way that I feel connected and touched and changed as a result of those relationships. So the one feeds the other for sure.
Yeah. And where do you see the trans liberation movement going? Like, what are the possibilities that you see on our horizon? Our horizon.
Well, given the young people at Crossroads who identify as trans and
Yeah.
gender nonconforming, I think we are in for quite a revolution, and in a way that is touched with love and sensitivity and good listening, and in a way that is insistent in really beautiful and sensitive and thoughtful and smart and good ways.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that we're sort of like honoring some of the healers and trailblazers and allies in our community is inviting them to share space with us on our telethon, because I do believe that without allyship, without good allyship, our liberation would not be where it is now, and it will not go further at the rapid pace that it is. And so one of the other ways that we're sort of centering and honoring trailblazers and healers and advocates and allies is we had this lovely print commissioned from a local trans artist, and it says, your support is vital for our liberation. And it's in gratitude from the Metro Trans Umbrella Group, but it really is in gratitude from me personally too, Jason, because you've used your privilege and your voice and your platform to lift up trans narrative and be that beacon and that light, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your role in our liberation.
I will put this on my office door.
Lovely,
And,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
no.
I'm really honored to be here.
Right on. We're really pleased that you decided to spend a little bit of your evening with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And that you use your power and your privilege to help propel us forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Okay, all right, so it looks like we're gonna cut after this for a few minutes to do a little bit of a Facebook technological thing. All the humans on deck are doing that, so we'll be right back, but we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thanks.